Okay, let's just get right into it. If you're a creator, you already know the grind. For the first couple of years, your entire life is basically just gathering an audience. You know? You're constantly trying to appease the algorithm, chasing reach, building that top of funnel awareness. And honestly, it's absolutely exhausting. You're basically stuck running on this endless algorithmic treadmill. But there's this old saying, content gets people in the door, community keeps them in the house. And today, we're looking at what is essentially the ultimate evolution of a creator business. It's not about gathering more of those fleeting random views. It's about building a fortified, private space where your absolute most dedicated followers learn from you and, maybe more importantly, from each other. Welcome to this explainer on Earn Beyond the Feed high-ticket communities. I am super excited to guide you through this today because we are talking about a massive fundamental shift. We're going to explore exactly how you can transition your top 1% of followers, the real ride or dies, from just consuming your free public content into paid, scalable, and secure learning communities. If you've been searching for the most reliable path to generating monthly recurring revenue, or MRR, and finally stepping off that treadmill we talked about, well, you're in exactly the right place.
Here's our roadmap for today. Number 1, the passive course trap. Number 2, the rise of live cohorts. 3, architecting your ecosystem. 4, the 4-phase launch strategy. And finally, number 5, preventing community churn. Let's jump in. Section 1, the passive course trap. The 5% problem.
So the old traditional playbook used to be super simple, right? You just record a 5-hour video course, price it super low, and try to sell as many copies as humanly possible. But that model is completely broken today. 5%. Just 5% is the absolutely abysmal, industry-wide completion rate for passive video courses. Let that sink in. That means 95% of the people who buy a traditional video course literally never even finish it. And here's what it comes down to. No execution equals no results, and no results, that equals no repeat buyers. People are buying these cheap courses honestly just for the dopamine hit. It makes them feel really productive in the moment, but they rarely actually execute the material. And here is the really painful reality for your business. Because they don't execute, they don't get results. And because they fail to get results, they are never going to buy from you again. It is a total dead-end business model.
Section 2, rise of live cohorts. Interactive boot camps. So, instead of selling a 499 rupee low-ticket passive course, modern creators are scaling through high-ticket live cohorts. They're selling, say, a 4,999 rupee interactive boot camp, usually spanning something like 4 weeks. You're making this absolutely crucial move from a cheap informational model to a premium transformational model.
Now, why exactly does the live cohort model win? Well, there are 3 main reasons. First up is accountability. Having live weekly Zoom sessions and structured homework assignments, that actually forces completion. Second is networking. Students might initially buy just to get access to your brain, but they almost always end up staying for the high-caliber peers they meet inside the group. And third, transformation over information. You are no longer just selling a random tutorial on, how to code. You're selling a specific, guaranteed outcome. Something like launch your first website as a service in 30 days. It's a total game changer.
Section 3, architecting your ecosystem. Beyond WhatsApp groups. Listen, you simply cannot justify a high-ticket price if your whole community lives entirely in some disorganized WhatsApp or Telegram group. The noise-to-signal ratio on those apps is just way, way too high, and they totally lack the proper infrastructure. Instead, you need a centralized digital storefront, one that seamlessly integrates these 3 mandatory pillars. First, the content hub. Second, the communication layer. And third, the event calendar. Let's break down that first pillar, the content hub, or your learning management system. This is your foundation. It's a secure, beautifully structured library where your video lessons, your Notion templates, and maybe your raw code repositories all live. And this absolutely must be easily navigable. When your members want to reference past materials, they need to find them instantly without getting totally lost in an endless, chaotic chat scroll. Then we have the second pillar, the communication layer. This is where you replace those chaotic group chats with dedicated chat channels that are broken down by specific topics. Think channels like general, feedback requests, wins, or technical support. Putting this structure in place drastically reduces that noise-to-signal ratio we talked about. It keeps the community hyper-focused, incredibly valuable, and it ensures that members are actually seeing the conversations that matter most to them. Section 4. The 4-phase launch strategy. Create anticipation.
Okay, rule number one here. You should never, ever build a massive curriculum in absolute silence and then just launch it cold. A successful community launch is fundamentally a masterclass in psychology. It's about turning a launch into massive anticipation. So here's the exact timeline you want to follow. Weeks 1 and 2 are phase 1, the tease. Week 3 is phase 2, the capture. Week 4 is phase 3, the nurture. And right around day 30, you hit phase 4, the FOMO launch.
Let's detail the exact actions for each of these phases. In step 1, you tease the project. Show some cool behind-the-scenes screenshots of you setting up the community right on your main social feeds. Then step 2, you drive that traffic to a really simple waitlist landing page to capture emails. But, and this is absolutely crucial, do not reveal the price yet. Step 3, you nurture that waitlist. Send out 3 or 4 emails sharing your personal story and detailing the exact transformation they're going to get. Finally, step 4, the FOMO launch. Open the doors to your waitlist 24 hours before you announce it publicly. Offer an exclusive bonus or a discount and cap the seats. Capping those seats creates scarcity, and scarcity, for sure, drives immediate action.
Section 5. Preventing community churn. Retain your members.
So if you're running a recurring monthly membership, your absolute biggest enemy is churn, members canceling their subscriptions. To keep that monthly recurring revenue super stable, you've got to embrace one core philosophy. You have to engineer regular wins for your community. You really can't just leave them in there to figure it out all by themselves. You must actively architect success moments for your members to keep them engaged and actually seeing the ongoing value. So how exactly do you do that? Well, through these 3 retention rituals. First, weekly rituals. For example, host a Wins of the Week thread every single Friday where members just brag about their progress. Second, member spotlights. Elevate your best students by interviewing them on a live call so everybody else can learn from their specific execution. And third, direct access. Host hot seat sessions where one member volunteers to have their specific problem aggressively workshopped by you and the entire community. These rituals foster this deep, incredible peer-to-peer connection and prove the ongoing value of your premium ecosystem, month after month. By focusing on real transformation and deep connection, you're entirely shifting your business model. So I'm going to leave you with one really powerful question. Are you ready to stop hunting for followers and start actually serving your community? Because it really is time to step off that algorithmic treadmill for good. Thank you so much for joining me in this explainer. Start building that community, and I'll catch you next time.